Can you hear my mic through my shirt?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a soundproof shirt, Jimmy.
Oh.
This is Jimmy's podcast, season 10 on the podcast. We coming back for more. I bet you never thought we'd last, and neither did we. Breaking news, show reviews, rubber boots, reactions, and other social media crap. And if nothing else, you know you're gonna have a laugh. You're gonna have a laugh, oh yeah, 'cause this is the podcast.
Yeah, special new segment to begin the pod. It's called Guest Host. It's not a very good name for a segment, but that's all I got. We're missing half our staff this week.
Yeah, half our staff has been let
half
go.
our staff has been let go. tragic no sponsor situation. So we got Puffy had his wisdom teeth out. I wonder if we should call him and see if he sounds funny at some point. And Lester is touring.
Yeah, let's just say he's touring.
So I'm. If you're watching on YouTube, I have my shirt pulled up over my eyes. Stoff just escorted me into the studio. So it's a special guest host, co-host, and I'm going to guess who it is. I'm going to ask an array of questions.
Absolutely.
And you're going to disguise, or is the guest host is going to disguise his voice?
Well, let us hope.
Okay. And so I'll ask questions and figure out who it is, and then we'll do the big unveiling. All right. Should we use like the segments we use, like start with where are you from?
Yes. Absolutely.
Where are you from, guest host?
I'm from the Kitchener.
Kitchener.
That narrows it down.
Bob McKenzie now lives in... No, he doesn't live there. He lives out there. Actually, he does live out that way. But that's not Bob McKenzie.
He's a son. He's with the Rangers.
That's right. That's Mike McKenzie. Okay, do you work at TSN?
Yes, I think.
I think I... Have you been on the pod before?
Yes, a few times.
Do you sometimes... Are you famous for using a sad voice or an angry voice?
A little column A, little column B.
It's Bump, everybody. Bump is on the podcast.
I can't believe I fooled you
Wow,
with
I
that.
totally nailed that.
Wily voice.
Wow, that was an elaborate go-to for welcome, Bump.
Good guessing,
It's
by
a
the way.
huge
Good
break
guessing.
for you.
I didn't
your
know you
first
knew
appearance
all that
since
about me.
the Masters episode, which has been widely hailed as the worst episode we've ever done. I don't know if you got any of that reviews.
I thought it was like tame from past Masters.
I think
I think that's the problem.
The problem
maybe
it was
that's
too
why.
tame. Yeah.
Nothing happened except for
An angry
what
Bump
happened.
did not go over as well as emotional Bump.
Really?
Much to my chagrin, because I thought it was great. I don't think, though, I don't know if Stoff in editing ever announced that you were doing a bit called Angry Bump, and so it just sounded like you were angry.
No, Jimmy, you announced it like 20 times throughout.
Oh, oh well.
I think people cut on. They just...
Yeah.
How's everything going in Bump's life?
Bump's life is good.
We have
Busy.
big Bump news. I heard recently that Bump and a lady friend have shacked up.
Yes. Yes, we just bought a house in Baden, Ontario.
Baden's where you were before.
That's correct. And so we're pool and a hot tub, so come on over.
You got a pool and a hot tub?
Oh, yeah.
What kind? Give me the lowdown on the pool.
So the pool is...
How deep?
It's about 5 feet in the middle.
Was there is there a deep end? What's
Well, no, it's a
Can I
round...
cannonball?
It's a round kind of...
Can I naked cannonball?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, you can. You just got to aim for the middle.
Bump is wearing a Tommy Want
Tommy Want
Wingy
Wingy.
wingy shirt.
Well, what is that from?
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Want Wingy.
I actually seen the movie. That's
That's a great movie.
Are you happy with your new house?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Is it in a nice neighborhood?
Yeah, Baden's a good... I liked living in Baden, had a bunch of friends.
What is
there,
the
so-
population of Baden? Does it qualify as a town or a
It's
city?
a town. It's a town. It's part of a township of Wilmot. So that includes Wellesley.
How close is it to
Petersburg.
Kitchener?
It's about 10 minutes.
Now, should we do a drive
Nothing.
to get it to be a city?
Yeah.
Like we'll start some momentum here.
Make
and-
Baden a city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Because what did we say the requirements were?
I believe 10,000. Let's make it 20.
I think it was 20.
20,000.
It's about, I would say there's probably 2,500 people.
Oh,
Okay, so we
got a little work to do.
There's a lot to go.
17
We need
a
some
lot of
heavy-
work to do.
Is there
the
work
township,
there?
though, might have more. The township would have more.
Baden is the township? No.
No, Wilmot is the township.
Wilmot.
Yeah.
Is there room for like suburbs in Baden? Like, are they developing?
There's a ton of developing. Like it was one of the newer developed areas.
Boring.
Yeah. There's 2 schools. There's 2 public schools there and a high school.
Wow. That's a
Take that, Mississauga.
Hey guys, I got some awesome news. This actually, you want to talk about fresh off the press. This came into my email box like 12 minutes ago, and our asses are going to get rich.
All right.
I'm going to read this to you.
Nigerian prince?
I'm not kidding. It's from the claims administrator to me. I don't know what that means.
All right.
No, this sounds actually like a real thing. Class action lawsuit against Zoom.
Oh, I got one of those too.
That could be real.
What is this litigation about? A class action proceeding, Gabriel Yes versus Zoom Video Communications.
That's right.
Was brought against the defendant, Zoom Video. The plaintiff alleges that Zoom shared certain information with third parties and advertised Zoom meetings as being encrypted end-to-end at a time when the plaintiff contends that it was not. We, of course, did countless Zoom meetings during COVID.
yeah.
Most of our podcasts were
Yes, a lot of it we
Zoom
have
meetings.
actual evidence of it happening.
The class action is brought on behalf of all persons residing in Canada
Oh.
who had registered Zoom meetings, user account, or a paid Zoom meeting subscription. I did. And who between April 1st, 2018 and June 30th, 2020 used, opened, or downloaded the Zoom meetings application.
So everyone in Canada.
So
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get a huge share.
Oh, Zoom has agreed to pay the total of $2 million.
So where does it say that?
Right here at what settlement has
So
been
across 30 million people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Zoom has agreed
that.
to pay
What are you
an
gonna do
amount
with your
of
11
$2 million.
cents?
Let's see here.
The settlement is subject to approval of the coach. What can I receive from the settlement? Why are you reading it so much faster than me?
I just
Well, we're just trying to find out what we're owed at
I can't
this point.
even
11 cents or 12?
It's 13 cents.
Oh my God.
What?
With interest.
What do you mean 13 cents? If you
13
divide
cents each.
If you divided the whole population of Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah,
30
like-
Yeah, well, not everybody's going to join the claim. I'm going to guess that
I'm
there'll
gonna
be
join the
maybe
claim.
10,000.
No, but if you got the email, I think you're on the claim unless you decide to opt out. I had a similar thing with Sirius Radio, believe it or not.
Sorry,
Oh.
15 cents.
And the Sirius thing, I have no idea how it ended, but I haven't paid for Sirius Radio in over 2 years, and I'm getting it for free, so I'm assuming that's the settlement.
That's not a bad deal.
That's a good deal.
It's like the Kramer will offer you coffee for life.
We're prepared to offer you all the free coffee you want at any of our stores throughout North America and Europe. Plus, I'll take it.
Sirius Satellite Radio, one of the more annoying brands to cancel.
Oh my God.
that right?
They
From when I
just
did, I
are
remember that.
They call you every day.
Oh, the guy wouldn't let me off the phone originally. It was like 20 minutes, and I'm like, no, I just want to cancel. He's like, okay, yeah, I know you want to cancel. Yeah, well, I'm just looking for someone of your, loyalty to the program. We can, and they just keep offering you.
No,
50
it's right.
times.
Sirius, we were done with you. Move on.
Yeah.
Unless you give us our own rubber boots.
But now
channel.
I'm back in because it's free.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
Oh, it's Sirius is free now?
Well, for me, because
Well, for
I
him,
won
because
the
you won-
lawsuit.
because
You
you
won the
lawsuit.
lawsuit. You never entered.
Well, I think I might
bastards
still
down.
be paying for Zoom.
Well, you're
If I can get a Zoom,
you're gonna
membership
get
for
13
free,
cents back for
Pretty
that one.
stupid of me.
It's actually 15 cents. I did the math wrong.
Oh, hey, this kid keeps getting better. I like it.
Anyway, so we're not going to get rich off of Zoom.
Yeah, I guess.
No.
Well, that sucks.
Well, it depends. It's like you didn't have 15 cents 2 minutes ago, and now you do.
Yeah. I had another parking spot incident today. Somebody parked in my parking spot. You know that hurts, Jimmy, when that happens.
Sorry.
And so then
I moved.
it wasn't you.
You're like laying on the
Somebody,
horn. I'm like,
whoever it
geez.
was, they had a plant in in their dash. They had a plant. I wasn't like Bob McKenzie. I didn't. No, that was Gino. Gino parks behind him, so they can't get out.
Or put a boot
I
on
have
the
heard that
put a boot
Gino
on the
does
car.
that. I have heard that. Shocking that Gino would do something like that. Very,
I usually write very polite notes and just put them on the windshield. Say, hey, next time, if it's okay, if you could find somebody else to park, because this is Jimmy's spot. But they don't know that.
are you still down by the
right,
entrance there?
right by the entrance. So I parked in Rod Smith's spot,
Right.
and now he wants to fight me.
Yeah. He called me and said, Jimmy's in my spot again. I'm like, look, Roddy, I thought I could
No,
park
I
in
called
Jimmy's
Roddy.
spot.
I called Rod Baby and said, listen, brother.
He's on holidays anyways.
He is?
Still the CFL season. He always takes me off.
Bump, by the way, I don't know how much we explain what he does. He hosts golf. Obviously, you know that from the Masters. He also runs this, not hosts, I guess. Well, you kind of.
I don't really host.
No, you produce golf and you produce the Canadian Football League. right?
That's right.
Are you doing that again this year?
Yes.
Is it going to be a good year in the CFL? How are my Red Blacks looking?
They should be better.
Yeah.
They should be.
Yeah.
But again, you got a quarterback coming off a knee injury.
Jeremiah
Major knee
Masoli.
injury, right? So Jeremiah's still there. It's we were just talking about CFL. I was with our insiders, and
Boring.
this is boring. I get it. They probably don't, but like 8 out of the 9 teams have question marks at quarterback.
That is not good for the league.
That's not great.
That's
But
not good for the
it could
league.
be amazing, but like the only one is Winnipeg. Zach is pretty much
Yeah, but don't you always
Locked in.
think like the greatest times in the CFL when you got like 3 or 4
Yeah.
good quarterbacks going, right?
yeah. We don't know.
And you need a good quarterback in
Yeah.
the CFL. Like,
It's like- it's
a
the
throwing
marquee
league.
position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
CFL talk.
Yeah, there you go.
I love the CFL. You know that.
I know you do.
I'll talk with you about it all day long. We should do a spin-off podcast called Bump CFL Talk.
Yeah, we should.
Bumps third down gamble. Oh no, wait. That's,
3rd and 1
Snake
from the
bites.
gun.
Don't
we'll
get-
call it 3rd and 1
Don't
from
get
the
snake
gun.
bites, Pete, man. So this is how old I am. I was playing the golf game on Saturday, and on the 16th tee, I in my backswing transition follow through somewhere in the middle there, I tore my groin.
Oh,
Tore?
tore it? Like really? Tore
Well-
it or sprained?
Okay,
Pulled,
I don't think you can
stretched,
sprain your groin.
pulled your groin.
Probably pull, but
Yeah.
like it felt like a rip. Like I literally
Like off the bone.
If there was video of this, you would post it, and it would mock. Like there was like a, it was like a, and I crumbled to the ground.
That's the sound.
like
your groin
I had been shot.
It's a horrible pain. Groin injuries are horrible
It
pain.
was horrible. I had to walk. I get helped off the golf course.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, you were hurt.
and then I had the awkward thing of going to my chiro. I have a great chiro named Reagan, and big guy. And usually I go to him like for back stuff or neck stuff, and he cracks me into place.
As normal people would for a chiropractor.
But now you've advanced the relationship.
Yeah.
No, but
kind of
chiros
a-
can do other things.
What kind of a place is this?
chiros can do other stuff.
On
Like
the side.
they have lasers and things, and he can do like acupuncture. You ever had acupuncture?
I never have, no.
No, my mom
good.
just had it, and she like raves about it. She thinks it's the solution for everything. now.
Great. It's really cool.
Stick some needles in them.
Oh yeah, I've had like as many.
Can you do
as,
that at home? Do they got a home kit?
I've had him in
I
my.
bet you they do.
I think I've had him in my face. I don't know why though. Why would I have had him in my face? Maybe just my neck. It's scary having him in
Same
your
thing.
neck because you think.
Well,
you're
like
gonna,
sinuses, you could.
Well, you see all those movies where they hit that one vein and then I start spurting blood everywhere and die, and that wouldn't be good. But anyway, so Reagan, I'm like, but it's my groin, and it's my groin. It's not like lower groin; it's like my upper groin. And so now I have to say, okay, how am I? I'm thinking about it before I go in. How am I gonna make sure just everything's out of the way so he can really actually work right up in there? Because we're talking there's no room.
No, there's no room.
There's no room
You
between.
got to tape it.
I had to
Did you tape it to the other leg?
tape it up. I had to tape it to my chest. Just a full fold up. The turtle.
Right up to the nipples. Yeah.
It's called the turtle. You take the bottom, you swing it over. It looks like a turtle shell.
This is worse than the master spot. This is amazing. This is what I do.
But he was very professional. He rubbed some stuff in there and then he lasered it. And what? I'm serious. I'm trying to give you a scientific version of what actually happened in there.
Yeah, I do.
He lasered the groin.
Have you ever done the turtle? Come on.
Not with tape.
Not with tape.
No, just with your ads. Just
everybody
flap
has.
it all over. Yeah. Have you done it to other people though, or just to yourself
No,
for fun in
I've
front
never
of a
done
mirror?
it to other people.
You turtled
To a
before?
chiropractor.
Have you
No,
turtled before?
I have not
No,
turtled at a chiropractor.
My
before.
chiropractor has never touched my groin before.
Yeah. We set limits.
Instead of
early
writing
on.
in where you're from this week, I just want to know, have you done the turtle?
And how
In
far have
pri-
you gotten with your chiropractor?
In private or
Exactly.
public?
Third base. Was
Okay,
a chiropractor.
I should have never told this story publicly, but I will now. You know how I have idiot friends. You've met Mark Ward.
Yep.
So we went to Grand Bend one time, all my idiot friends on a trip. So we're like, I don't know, 20, 21. And somebody had we're old, so it was one of those disposable cameras, because that's all you took when you went on trips back then was disposable cameras. And I think it was one of my conservative friends who was going to like medical school. And so we thought it'd be funny. We'd take a lot of stupid pictures. So I did the turtle, and we took photos. I think I must have taken it myself. I don't think Mark Ward was like down on taking the picture of the turtle.
I beg to differ.
But we took a couple pictures of the turtle, thinking it'd be funny if he got the camera developed or his mom got the camera developed or whatever. But he spun it back on me because he had a party. He was going to Auto U the next year, and we showed up, and he had put like the pictures up on the fridge, like so all the people at the party saw.
Oh, nice.
So then I
Smart.
took the pictures and I took them home. And I just shoved them in a drawer, and my mom found them.
Oh, beautiful.
And my mom's like, Jamie, could you come here for a second? She was like doing my laundry or something. And she's like, what is this? And I'm like, how do I explain this? Well, Mom, what is that a picture of? It looks like your genitalia, but it's in. And I said, well, Mom, it's the turtle.
You actually said, Mom, it's the turtle?
It's a turtle.
That's
It's just the thing we do. Well, why are you taking photos of it? I don't know. Mom, I don't really have any explanation.
What do you say?
I've
What do you say to that?
never been in more of an awkward position with my mother to have to explain it before. Anyway, so I didn't really ever want to tell that story. You think that story would have come out in 10 years of the pod, but I feel,
this topic wasn't on the list.
all of our listeners have become so intimate with us over the years.
Yeah.
That wasn't a wrong phrasing. That I just felt
And us with them.
I felt that they owed them. I mean, they shared where they were from and how they found out about us, so I might as well share the turtle story, right? True. Anyway, where was I getting at? Reagan, give me the laser.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Give me a little rub down. Mm-hmm. And groin better. Played golf yesterday, except I had to. I couldn't really use my right leg, so I was basically playing golf. I'm standing here for the non-YouTubers. I had to mostly put all my weight on my left leg and just kind of swing with my arms, but still beat Aaron Karolnik and Carlo Koliakovo in a match.
Would you shoot?
That's why I didn't shoot well.
I had to do that playing slow pitch because I hurt
one
knee.
leg.
Yeah, so I had hurt my knee playing basketball.
Right.
I got pinned against two guys when I went up for a rebound.
You got pinned against two guys going up for a rebound?
Yeah.
So you went up, but the knee didn't.
One guy hit me
on the way
here,
down, yeah.
and on the way down, another guy hit me in between. I was like, this is what I get for going for rebounds. I should have just stayed at the 3-point line. But so I couldn't play the whole. But then my former brother-in-law, he's still my brother, he doesn't do well getting enough players to the game. So I was still going to the games. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I just need you to stand back there and play catch. I can't really move. Mm-hmm. So he goes, when you go up to the bat, just stand there and take the strikeout. Well, I didn't.
Of course you
Because
didn't.
you don't do that.
You're a competitor.
Yeah.
You're a warrior.
So I go up there, I'm switch hitting, which I did kind of.
You were a switch hit?
in many ways. So I had to lift my back leg and swing.
Right.
And
it's not easy.
It's not easy, but I hit so much better.
You hit it better that way.
Oh, I would hit. I put it basically in between first and second almost every time. Now I hit left-handed and slow pitch.
All because of that?
Yeah, because I never really rehabbed my knee properly.
Oh, you didn't
I
go
don't
see
think anything would happen, but you just never know.
My guy Regan would have fixed you up.
Regan, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. Am I now going to?
Yeah, but I got a knee injury.
That's his go-to
Not
for
a groin
everything.
injury.
Can we get to the knee now, Regan?
Okay, enough of the groin work.
No, our session's done. I'm worried that I'm never going to have faith in my right leg again. I feel like it's just dangling there. Like just dangling.
Yeah, well, it's only been how long?
A couple days.
4 days.
You'll be fine.
I shouldn't have golfed.
You probably shouldn't have golfed.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
No, I was fine. Like it's golf, right? Like it's not playing football or hockey or baseball.
Yeah,
or anything.
you
It's
never know.
golf, right?
If the grass is wet, you could slip.
Yeah, you could always pull something. In
It was
golf.
actually very depressing because I really felt like an elderly gentleman when I
Now you know how I feel every time I
Yeah.
golf.
right. Like
And you're way older than me.
When I go to the seniors pickleball center, I have a feeling there'll be like a lot of pulled groins there, and I'll be
You
able to
love the
relate to them all.
pickleball, eh?
Yeah,
It looks fun.
It does. I hear
really
the
fun.
fad's dying now, though.
Oh, is it
I
really?
heard like it's almost over.
it's not a fad.
No, it's 100% a fad. There's no way young people will be doing this 5 years from now.
Oh, okay.
Like,
for young people,
Yeah.
yes, maybe. But I don't
pickleball's
think,
been around for a very long time.
no,
like,
but it's like they're building courts everywhere.
Yeah.
That's not what you don't do that for a fad.
Well, you do, and that's why they're saying a lot of that money is going to be wasted now. That's what I read in an article.
I don't think so, because I think like the it's kind of like the 50+ crowd. Like it's been going for a while. It's been going like 5 years.
Just convert the tennis ball court so you can do both.
Yeah,
like that's the smarter thing to do. Just paint a couple extra lines.
But see, it's going to be an Olympic sport. I guarantee it.
It could be.
And then that'll get people playing it.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think Brooksy and I have a
chance?
chance to make it in mixed pickleball?
Well, you are in like one of the main qualifying groups already. Like, I think the winner of your tournament goes on.
Well, they have those senior Olympics.
regionals.
Maybe we could make it there, right?
Do they have a senior Olympics?
Yeah, they have Olympics for like all sorts of ages. They just don't get quite.
There are youth Olympics. I don't know. So
Yeah, I never heard the senior Olympics.
yeah.
There's all sorts of senior events. You can run sprint
Senior
seniors.
events is different than an Olympics.
Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
there's senior decathlons. I saw one
Same
on
thing.
Married with Children once.
Same thing. I'm not saying it's like an Olympic Games, and I bet you it is. I bet you there's a senior Olympics. Look it up. Google it.
So senior Olympics?
Senior Olympics.
Like you could be Canada's first pickleball champion.
Senior.
Senior. No, but why can't you go for the whole thing? You know, a lot of the golfers are playing pickleball.
Really?
All of them.
Oh,
Spieth,
really?
JT.
Spieth's got a messed up wrist, and I'm worried about him. He's not going to be able. You're going down to the PGA next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
He better be playing.
We had because he was going obviously for the career Grand Slam, right? Every PGA.
That's the number one
So
story.
that was one of the things that we were going to be talking about, but now I don't know. Like
He
it
needs his
doesn't
groin
sound.
worked on.
Yeah, maybe you should go to your guy, get his groin worked on.
The National Senior Games, also known as the Senior Olympics, are a sports competition for senior citizens in the United
There you
States.
go.
Boom.
So in the U.S., and the last one was in Fort
How old do you
Lauderdale,
gotta be?
2022.
Like 50 plus, or is it like 65 plus?
Been going on since 1987.
Wow.
Okay. And number of athletes had the last one 11,000, so that's pretty good.
See, there you
How many died?
Well, I'm getting to that. Hold on. There's archery. Pickleball is one of them. Power walking.
Power walk.
Triathlon. Cornhole. So
wow.
if you find a better partner than Puffy, you
Oh, my
could
God. He
totally
was
do it. Yeah, I
like,
know.
what a joke.
I was embarrassed listening to that.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Just keep it on the board.
Trying to find the age restrictions here.
Yeah, because the senior golf tour is 50 plus.
Yep.
So I'd qualify in about 4 years.
You should try it. Why not? It's hard to. You know what? It's hard to qualify for that tour, though.
Above the age of 50. 50. So
Okay, there you go. So you're in.
Boom! I'm in senior
Pickleball.
Olympics. I'm training right now, baby.
should I fix some documents and join you?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, you could pass. Yeah, just gray your beard up. Mm-hmm. You could pass for 50.
The next one's in Albuquerque.
Is it?
I just made it up. I just made that up.
Breaking
The
news.
first one that came into my head.
Maybe we should cover the senior games.
Yeah.
Like that could become our thing.
I would love to. Anyway, was that the end of the story?
Sorry, Albuquerque did have
Oh
the
my
senior
God.
games in 2019. So you weren't far
I swear
off.
to God, I didn't. That's amazing.
It does sound like a place where the senior Olympics would be held.
Well, there you go. I love
Next
it.
one's in
they
New
have
Haven.
they have winter ones as well.
Oh, what are they?
Oh, I just maybe
The
going
next one's
downhill.
in New Haven.
You know, I know Aaron Korolnik listens to the podcast, so he's probably expecting me to rip him, and I will Thursday morning on radio so we have this thing where Jeff McDonald, who heads up radio at TSN, and I play
But
Matt.
you'll golf with anyone but me and Lester, pretty much.
Yes, basically.
Yeah.
Well, this
That's
is
what he says every
this is
time I
a
golf with
tradition.
him.
You don't have tradition yet. We're going to establish it this year. But we play AK and Carlo, who host for you people outside the Toronto area, the First Up show, our radio morning program.
Yes.
And we never lose to them. Like we're like 4-0-1. And so AK probably expects me to rip him here. But truth is, I was very impressed with both their games, AK and Carlo. Like they've come along. We had no business winning. I was on one leg. Jeff played very well. I was hot garbage for most of it, but they kind of choked.
Doesn't matter. You still won.
But a couple of good golfers in AK and Carlo. I feel like
Well, I guess Carlo you kind of expect it because hockey players, it kind of
he's
goes
got a very
hand in
nice
hand.
swing. Very nice swing. He says bang every time he makes a birdie. I don't know if you knew that. That's his catchphrase. Yeah, he actually says it. every time
Believe
he
me,
makes a
I know
birdie.
it's.
I would say that
catchphrase.
like
says
5
bang.
times in my career.
He made back-to-back, I think, somewhere along the way.
But bang!
Bang. So, yeah, I'm not going to rip them. I'm going to save
Does he
that
just
for-
do one
I'm gonna
bang?
save
So if
that
he
for
makes
Thursday
2 in a
morning
row, he
radio.
goes bang bang?
He goes bang bang.
If he makes 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Bang!
Jesus. See,
That's what it sounds like.
Imagine how annoying it is when you're playing with them.
Bang! Bang!
Okay, enough.
He just made 3
Enough.
birdies.
Stop.
Flashbacks to the morning show.
Let's get to some of our. What are we doing? Are we doing all the where are you from?
Where are you at?
Where are you at? You want to do that, or you want to do?
We can do that. We can do Twitter first. There's only one thing I had for Twitter because
I found I brought another story.
That's a terrifying story, by the
Two in a row?
way. So let's get to Twitter first. Let's do Twitter,
Is
and
there
you
another
can
depressing
lead it off here, Jimmy.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
I brought a story today that I found. It's a new thing where I do a lot of research for the podcast, and I bring
2 weeks in a row.
bring a lot of stories. I don't know if you read this one. Bo Jackson says he's been suffering from hiccups for a year.
What?
Yeah, it's actually somewhat terrifying.
I can't imagine that. That's terrible.
What's the longest you think you've had hiccups for?
5 minutes, 10 minutes, well, maybe like
Probably
half an
been-
hour or something.
You know
like that,
what a cure is to hiccups is you do the turtle.
between the legs?
You do the turtle.
No,
or
this
you
is
go to your
this is a real
chiropractor
thing.
and get a rub down on your groin.
Well, I don't know if I can
That
afford to go
also-
that often. There's a thing I learned. If you take a drink of water,
Upside down.
you put your head between your legs
Yeah.
and swallow.
Well, you don't have to put your head between
Yeah,
your
you do.
legs. You just
Yeah, you
have
got to
put
be
it
upside down.
No, but you're not upside down like that, Jimmy.
you gotta be
What you're
upside
doing
down.
is you literally have to be upside down.
Why are we doing this when no one can see us? No, you just have to go.
No, you're not upside.
this.
That's still not upside down.
No, you're not.
You don't have to be upside down.
You got to be against the wall, upside
that's
down. drinking.
That's exactly how you got to do it.
It actually works. I did it once.
Well, that's not your head between
can't
your
do that
legs.
anymore.
Sure,
It's
it
just
is.
bent over. You just say you're bent over.
Holding the breath, that's my go-to.
Okay, so I'm sorry. You do the turtle and take pictures of it, but you're shaming me for.
I was 20 years
You're an
old. I
idiot.
don't
Stop.
do the
What an
turtle
idiot.
anymore.
Stop it for suggesting that.
What a dumbass.
I don't do the turtle, but now I might see if I can do it. Still do it. Because it's the first time I've talked about it in like 20
Whip
years.
it out.
Not right now on the pod.
Right now? Jeez.
I do the hold the breath. It usually works, actually. For me,
Or
at
you
least.
pass out and you forget.
Yeah,
that you
or
had
then
hiccups.
by that time the hiccups have passed.
No, does the water thing work, or is that sounds
It works
ludicrous?
100%.
Yeah,
I've
I
done
did it once,
and
it
it works
worked.
every time.
60% of the time it
Yeah.
works.
But you got to go
60%
between the
of
legs.
time it works.
It's not
all
enough
the
to just
time.
bend
You
over.
gotta go between the legs, and you drink the water out of the opposite side of the glass.
No, I take
You
the
get
water
water,
in my mouth.
then you go
I
upside down.
Upside down and swallow. You
Swallow.
just have to swallow while you're
no!
upside down.
See, somebody told me that you had to get in that position with your glass of water, and then you pour.
Now,
And I ended up just pouring water all over
was
the
this
floor.
your chiropractor by any chance?
Probably was.
Somebody about probably scamming me. They know Jimmy's not the smartest.
Damn.
I thought you had to drink out of like
No,
the
we
weird
don't
side of
drink
the
it
glass.
upside down. You swallow it upside
Yeah,
down.
swallow upside down.
It works. I've done
I'm
it.
telling you, somebody told me you had to drink in a
So
weird
how come
position.
Bo's not swallowing upside down?
Okay, sorry.
This is bad.
A year. That's crazy.
Bo said he's been suffering them for more than a year. The former superstar who now makes his home in the Chicago area. I was at I wasn't at the ceremony because I've been dealing with the hiccups. I've had them since last July. I'm getting a medical procedure done the end of the week, I think, to try to remedy it. I've been sitting at the doctor's, poking me, shining lights down my throat, probing me every way possible. That's the only... Anyway, he was supposed to be at some ceremony. That's what he's talking about. I've done everything. Scare me, hang me upside down, drink water, smell the ass of a porcupine. It doesn't work.
That's
I've
not even
not
a
done
thing.
that
He
one.
was just desperate
Yeah,
at
he
that
just
point.
He saw a porcupine, thought, "What the hell?"
It reminds me of on The Simpsons. They had like a bit where they're like, it was a newscast, and like, we now go live to a man who can't stop hiccuping, and he's just like, kill me, kill me.
We meet a man who's been hiccuping for 45 years. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me.
Because that's literally what it would
That's
be
what it
like
was,
if you're just sitting here hiccuping for a year.
That's
how do you not
horrible.
lose your mind?
Especially you're one of the greatest athletes ever, and you
And
can't
after a
stop.
while, you got to imagine that starts hurting in here. No,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Doesn't your heart? Is it your heart stop when you hiccup?
really?
Something like it might be. It might
my
be
medical
cough, I'm
license
not
doesn't
really
cover
sure.
that.
But I don't like.
You know, he's
what-
playing the pro-am at the Regents Tradition, the first senior major of the.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Yeah, Bo
I
Jackson.
wouldn't think I've had the hiccups more than an hour.
Yeah, an hour.
no,
at the
an
most.
hour's by absolute tops. Yeah, not.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Like you have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
What
I
is
can't-
it? What is it caused by? Some sort of gag reflex?
I think there's
I
a
think-
couple different things.
yeah.
It's like a gag reflex. It could be acid in your stomach.
Yeah.
It could
Some-
be
like a
if
gas
you're
thing,
cold
too.
or something. Or I don't know.
Anyway,
I
we wish the
sometimes
best
get
for
them
Bo.
when you're drinking a really cold drink.
You get the hiccups?
Yeah, sometimes I'll get.
I get them if I drink a carbonated drink. For
Yeah, that
example.
too. Yep.
I
Thank
guess
God I don't get them when I drink beer.
sparkling water, which is kind of my go-to drink.
Yeah.
I get a little burpy when I have it, but I don't know if I get hiccupy.
It's carbonation.
Anyway, we wish the best of both. We don't wish those kind of hiccups
No.
on anybody.
No.
Maybe Puffy.
You just
We
bring
wish it
the
on Puffy.
you just bring the depressing stories on Twitter.
Well, no, sorry. I just thought it was interesting. I didn't even know you could have hiccups for a year.
It's a long time.
Right? It's an informative podcast, Bump, if you'd listen.
I can't go. I did.
Look at what we've taught people so far.
Well,
Medically informative.
Apparently, you called me because you needed another old white guy from last week's one.
Yeah, Lester's absence is a little
It's a
damning.
little fishy.
It's a little damning.
It really is.
When you guys asked me, I'm like,
after
oh,
last
here we
week.
go. Here it goes.
That's right.
What an inopportune time to be off.
What do you have? What did you research this week?
Well, sticking to our medical theme, I researched that Selena Gomez received a kidney from Francia
Okay.
Reza,
Okay.
I guess a couple years ago. However, the two are reportedly not friends anymore because Selena drinks alcohol. So the girl that gave her the kidney allegedly doesn't want to be friends with her anymore
She
because
really
she's
had a kidney transplant?
abusing her kidney.
so she's angry that
Yeah, I gave you a kidney and you're putting alcohol through it. Now, I don't know if it's excessive drinking or just drinking.
What was the cause of her initial kidney failure?
I don't know. For me, this was more just once you give someone a kidney, do you have a say of what they do to that kidney?
I don't think you do.
I don't think you do. You'd like them to respect your kidney. Like if
Would you expect somebody who's of Selena Gomez's age in that mid-30s, I think she would be right now?
Yeah. And access
To
to
not
everything
have
in the
alcohol?
world. Yeah.
yeah, as long as she's not
If
being
you got a new kidney, would you not drink alcohol?
maybe if this person was, I guess this person clearly is like a clean liver, and so they don't like. But I don't know.
Maybe
That's
they
weird.
believed that they were giving someone a second chance.
Were they
and,
friends, or was she like a fan that
it
gave
sounds
Selena
like they were
Gomez?
friends after the kidney and probably kept in touch or something. I don't know, actually.
Because you could see if Selena Gomez said, "I need a kidney," that people would be putting up their hands like super fans, right?
Yeah.
See,
Like,
that is the inherent problem in the whole situation. Like, what? You don't know this person. Like, it's different than if I gave it to a family member.
who would you give your kidney to outside your family?
Well, friends.
Would you give me
a
your kidney?
millionaire?
Yeah, I would probably. Yeah.
But I wasn't dying. I just wanted to
An extra
Just wanted a
kidney.
reboot.
I just wanted like your kidney.
No,
would,
one on the side.
Your
I don't
kidney
know
would
if you
give me
want my
like.
kidney one.
Well, if you had like a perfect kidney, and I thought it would like improve my golf game.
I would not.
It would
I
give
still
you
would.
leverage for your 1 foot swing.
Would it keep me employed?
I'd help you out. I'd keep
It
you at
wouldn't
the,
hurt.
the
Wouldn't hurt.
Masters
You
every
probably-
year.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
Good. It
right?
looks good on the resume.
It's a lot. Like, how do you?
James Duffy has one of my kidneys. Objective.
Oh man,
But if you're a fan, like if I'm a fan of
you
Will
think
Ferrell, I'm not giving him a kidney.
yeah. Do you think
what
anybody,
if it's like-
any of our podcast listeners, would give any of us kidneys? Do you
No, he
appreciate
definitely
any
wouldn't
of
give me a kidney.
That's probably true.
Like if Puffy lost his kidney gambling, you think Snake Pete would step up and give
I just
him
want to
his
know.
kidney?
I just want people to write in and say, would you give us a kidney if we desperately needed it, and in what order of the podcast
Ooh,
cast
that's a great one. I
would
like
you
that.
give a kidney
I like that.
for? Knowing that if you didn't give Stoff the kidney and he died, there'd be no
No
podcast.
pod. We got to go.
And
stop
Puffy's
first.
just gonna drink through his kidney, so
like in reality, everybody's expendable in this pod except you and Stuff.
I'm not sure that. I think it's pretty much just Stoff.
Well, but
I'll
your
just pretend
name
the
is
rubber boots
your
guy
name
thing
is
happened
on
to
it,
me.
So like, it's your story.
Lester
That-
McLean's Rubber Boots podcast. I can see it.
I don't see it.
Serious
But he
Lester.
does all the music. You don't need the music though.
Yeah, we got all the themes. He can.
Yeah, it's all like
Yeah. No one's giving him a
new
kidney
theme
now.
today, by the way, coming up very
Oh,
shortly.
really?
New theme. No Lester, but we do
Well,
have
that's
a theme.
exciting.
So it is.
Yeah, it would be
I
wasted.
love Lester, but I don't think
It would be frustrating. It would be frustrating if you donated a kidney to a stranger and they abused it,
yes.
or a kidney, or whatever it would be. Kidney. What else is it? I guess liver.
Liver.
Kidney, liver. What else
Lung.
can you transplant? Lung.
You can
Lung
do
tran-
any
you
transplants.
can do all-
Not that you would give a lung if you're still living,
Right.
but if you believe all the medical dramas out there,
Would you give me your? Would you give?
you can pretty much replace
Would you give me
anything.
your heart?
You already have my heart.
Oh damn! That's what I was looking for as an answer.
Sorry, so it was her best friend, apparently.
Oh,
in
okay.
2017
Well,
this happened. So
Wow.
I guess.
And now they're not best friends because she's drinking.
Do you think
Reportedly, maybe that's just a rumor.
I would love to know the reason she lost the kidney. Because you can live on one kidney, correct?
Oh, buddy, you're talking the obviously you can, because if people somebody
I also would like listeners to write in to see if you could live
How
on
many
one
kidneys?
buddy,
So you can live with.
if you couldn't live on one kidney, I don't think she'd still be alive if she gave Selena her kidney.
But
Great point. Great point.
Yeah, but to Bump's point, why does Selena? Does she have two bad kidneys than Selena?
Does Selena now have two kidneys and the other girl only
Yeah,
has one
like
kidney?
what's going?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say this: I have
trading draft
utmost respect for people who donate to things like that.
Absolutely.
Because you're right. Outside of a family member, it's a tough call to go through major surgery to give a lung or a kidney or liver or whatever that may be. So all the respect in the world for people who do those things.
Yeah.
Also, sign your organ donation card. That's one thing I think is a no-brainer. I would love if I don't want to die tragically, but I would love that parts of me would move on somewhere.
Maybe we could auction them off.
On the pod.
Auction Huff Puffy's kidney.
Nobody wants that. Do you think there's any of my organs that anybody would
See,
want?
I don't think you want Puffy's liver, but his kidneys might be okay.
Would
They work
anybody
hard.
want any of my organs?
They're hardworking kidneys.
Working kidneys, puff ass.
You're never gonna find kidneys that work that hard.
Do you think any of my organs would be desired?
I don't know. Can we get your chiropractor on?
Again, give him the answer that's good for your job.
Yes.
What was the Will Smith movie where he
was,
gave away all his things? 7 pounds of...
Yeah, 7 pounds.
7 pounds? 7.5 pounds?
It's whatever it was, it's the weight of the human brain.
Or is it the weight of the heart?
Oh.
I thought it was the brain, wasn't it? It could have been the heart. I don't know. 7.5 grams? 7.5 grams is what it is.
No.
I'm looking at it.
It's pounds. I'm pretty sure the movie was
7.5
pounds.
Was it?
I never saw the movie.
The heart,
but-
that's a pretty heavy heart.
I never saw it.
He
had a heavy heart.
did he kill himself to give away his things to all these people or something like that, right?
Yes, 7 pounds is the movie. Correct.
And he slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still loved Will Smith back then.
Despite receiving negative reviews, it was a box office success. Well, there you go.
Interesting. But he gave more than his. Was it the heart or the brain?
Driving a.
Remember Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
The human head weighs 10 pounds, Jerry, or whatever.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to find out. What was it?
It's good podcasting right here.
Oh, this is good. Jeopardy theme.
Just read the Wikipedia version of the
Ben
story.
Thomas sending a text message while driving caused a car crash in which 7 people died. 6 strangers and his fiancée, Sarah Jensen. In a bid for redemption, Ben sends out to save the lives of 7 good people, although this goal only becomes clear near the end of the film, or earlier, for those viewers who are able to piece together the clues.
Oh.
That's a great plot.
Right.
I don't need to watch the movie.
And there you go. Things I read on Wikipedia. There you
Sorry to
go.
take
Right,
your
so he
steam
ends
there.
up killing himself at the end, but in like a perfect situation in like a frozen tub or something like that. So all his parts will be perfect, and he'll ask. Do you think they would have really got donated to these people though? How do you know they're a fit and everything?
I don't know.
Well,
maybe
medically
he's-
a fit. Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
It's a movie after all, I guess.
Yeah,
It's a
They
nice-
can do whatever they want. They make organs on like Grey's Anatomy out of fancy 3D printers.
They do not.
Yeah, they do on Grey's Anatomy. They
on
do.
Grey's
You
Anatomy,
watch that
for
show? Is
sure.
that still
Oh
on?
man, you know what? This is the problem with this show. It needs to go, and I feel so invested because I've watched it over the years that I can't stop
those
watching.
Why
the
did you
worst.
start
Those are
watching
the worst.
Dr. McDreamy or whatever?
I don't know. It was all right back then,
Weird.
but
weird.
I just got to give it up.
a weird choice by you.
I watch a lot of television. I work at home, so I watch television while I'm working.
You should do the What You Watching segment this week. But don't say Grey's Anatomy because then nobody
No,
will listen.
I will not.
What should we get to our
Well, I mean,
new theme?
I think we must.
So Lester put together this new theme. I've not heard it yet. Are you be able to play it for me, or is it just going to go into the podcast later?
No, I'm going to play it for you
Live?
and then we will react.
Okay.
Where you from? Where you from? This is the silliest segment that we've ever done. The silliest song that I've sung. Where you from?
I like it. I like it a
Very
lot.
nice.
He's a
Very
good
nice.
rhymer.
Yeah.
I love the
It's
multiple
more lyrical than
Lesters.
hello as well.
The
It really-
multiple layer of Lesters.
Yeah, no, it's happy. And it sets the real tone for the segment, I think. So in some ways, Lester not being here, this has been one of his best pods.
Truly.
Okay, so we have still more people are writing in.
Honestly, at this point, I cannot believe how much of it's coming in. And not only are more and more people reaching out, they're writing longer and longer paragraphs. So I might skim through some of them. Like one of them complains that last week I didn't read one of their parts.
Oh, so the where you're from audience is angry now.
They're turning on me.
That guy's not giving you a liver.
I'm number 4, maybe 5 in the rankings. We'll start with Sam Donahue. Hello from Vancouver, but moving to Gibson next month.
Oh, Gibson. We've talked about Gibson on the pod.
We must have.
Lester mentioned what a great town it was, and I said how my family stayed there one Christmas when the World Juniors were there.
Yes.
And beautiful place. What a place. So envious. I would go out and sit on the rocks by the ocean every day because I was kind of hoping killer whales would pass by. I always thought, like in BC, in my mind, like if you live on the ocean, the killer whales swim by every day. Don't you feel that way?
I was on an Alaskan cruise. I'm like, I need to see a killer whale swimming right beside the boat.
I know. That always happens. Never happens. I was very disappointed. Be better, BC.
Yeah. Do better, BC tourism. Cole Williams writes in, I have been a huge fan since day one. I love the pod. I'm born and raised in Ottawa for Jimmy, Bell's Corners.
Oh, yeah, Bell's Corners.
Makes sense to you, Bell's Corners.
Yeah.
But living in Peterborough, Ontario now. Go Pete's. Would love to give a shout out to my podcast, Sports United Pod, at Sports United Pod 1 on Twitter, and would love to have you all on as guests one day.
Of course.
That's a pretty good ambition considering we can barely ever get all if he means all in one episode, good luck with that.
I feel like I've been on every podcast in the country now because I kind of made
You weren't on the Bump and Run podcast.
I never did. I made the Bump and Run podcast one year at the Masters.
1 year?
Yeah, you guys had me on.
It was your feature guest.
Thanks for remembering.
I do recall. All of a sudden,
I try not to say no to any podcast.
Really,
but sometimes you'll come on there.
I'm gonna start up
literally like a 12-year-old in his mom's basement, and I'm going, "What am I doing here?"
I'm gonna get my kids to start a podcast, and you'll be the first guest because you never turned it down.
James Duthie, debut episode. Jordy Cunningham writes in, "Hope I'm not too late for this week's episode. Day one listener, first time caller. Was in university in Kamloops when the podcast started." From Ladner, BC, home of the Red Sox pitcher James Paxton, actor Will Sasso, and where Dan O'Toole started his career. So there you go, Ladner, BC.
Kamloops that's where my papa's from, my dad. So love Kamloops. Auntie Noni, I used to go to Auntie Noni. She'd pick strawberries for me. What was that actor's name?
Will Sasso.
He
was in Mad TV. Started in Mad TV. He's got a great part in the Invested
he looks like
show.
James Gandolfini.
Invested show, where he's just he's the Christopher Guest's. He owns this bait shop, and he's one of the guys that works at the bait shop. And I laugh every time at his little part there when he's saying goodbye to him as Christopher Guest goes off with his bloodhound.
What's Best in Show again? Is that
Best in Show's the dog show one with the Spinal Tap people?
Very funny. He was mover number 1 in Happy Gilmore.
Yes, he was. That's right.
All right.
Kelly Mittelstad writes in, where? Elmsdale, Nova Scotia.
Beautiful.
How? You did indeed have a lower third fonts. It was that graphic during the 2017 Briar, overlaid by Vic's tones, which led me to you. So shout out to Vic.
So at some point in TSN history,
Rubber Boot sponsored the Briar.
That's amazing.
It's 4-2 for the Madar rink here in number 5. And don't forget, when you have a moment, to listen to the Rubber Boots.
Count them up.
Rubber Boots by Count them up. 4, 2, 1.
4.
Wow.
And also watch the Rubber Boots pod.
We're going to have to go back to the promo department and get us back on the lower. Get back on the fonts. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says back on the fonts.
Stop being embarrassed by us.
You should wear it tonight for your hits.
Pete in Japan, you had a theme
Pete
song?
in Japan tonight.
Pete
in Japan.
All right. He's not in Japan.
Pete in Japan. It's his name. It's Pete in Japan, you idiot.
I know, but if he's not in Japan, that's weird.
No,
he just said it.
He is in Japan.
Okay,
He's been writing us for 3 weeks straight now from Japan. I've seen the stamps, the postage. I will vouch for Marius from Hamburg. Geolock prevents a lot of sports coverage in Japan. So I listened to Overdrive for Toronto sports news coverage. Leaf games are heard live on TSN radio, but no James Raptors Argos, etc.
Right.
TSN and Rubber Boots Pod help me with any homesickness. So there you go.
Okay.
They didn't know the Argos were blacked out in Japan.
Well, yeah, it's a
They need them.
got to pay for the rights.
CFL,
Japan.
please.
That's it. Jesse Goddard, our friend from Cabo Frio, Brazil, writes
Yes.
back. You guys were correct. Transplanted Canadian from Stony Plain, Alberta.
Beautiful.
So Stony Plain, split time between here and Grand Cayman.
Oh, that's tough.
Been listening since season 1 as well. So Jesse's got it going on there.
This is bad, Jesse, and I want you to refute this, but every time I hear someone lives in Cayman, I feel like they're doing some illegal banking activities.
Yep.
Well,
I don't want to, I'm not
Caymans
accusing you
do
of
have
anything.
that reputation, I
Right.
believe. Another Jesse
laundering.
here. Jesse Hoekstra writes in, Kitchener, Ontario, ...
Holla.
a few weeks late. To
I
which I'll
don't
say,
know him.
you're
Ask
not
him-
a few weeks late because
I
we're
do
going to be
not
doing
know
this
him.
for the next 3 years.
And ask him if he's been to Baden.
Have you been to Baden?
Yeah.
Do you think it has a shot at becoming a city? Richard Berry, listening from Rycroft, Alberta. That's half an hour south of Fairview and about 6 hours northwest of Leduc. Started listening to season 1.
Was that supposed to help me?
Like Fairview, Alberta, and I've heard Leduc
Yeah,
probably
I've
because
definitely
there
heard
was
of
an
Leduc.
under-17 championship.
Jesse, chuck me a Calgary or an Edmonton in there in your,
Okay,
in
so
your
yeah,
locators. Okay?
have us fly
Maybe
into
a Banff.
have us fly into Calgary and then give us like the roads
Yeah, do it.
one by one how to get to Rycroft.
Okay.
Anyway,
Is
start
it in the
listening.
Badlands? That's my favorite part of Alberta.
Badlands School.
Badlands sounds bad.
It's awesome.
Is it?
Yeah, next to
where it
Banff
goes.
and Jasper and all that, the Badlands is amazing.
It's a bad name.
That's where the dinosaur museum is.
Anyway, Richard Berry says that he started listening season 1 when he was in Vancouver before moving to this village of 512 people.
Beautiful.
Oh, there's one I haven't included in here. I'll have to look up because there's a guy from a very small community and he said he's also the councilman, so that could be.
Oh, did you get
entertaining.
Sauli from Finland who did the pronunciation?
Yes, we'll get.
Oh, because I got the tweet. If you want me to play it,
Okay,
or do you
I was going to pull it up on here.
Oh,
Whatever
sorry.
you want. No, you can play it on there.
Trying
Not
to
a problem.
trying to mow your lawn. I just didn't know if you had it or not.
Daniel Racky, thanks for the shout out. My location sparked the conversation about origin stories, and Stoff failed to mention I added that I'm from the Sioux. I will add that I've been a listener since the first episode with Bobby Lou. So there you go.
So Leduc is just below Edmonton.
Keep up. That was like 2 minutes ago.
I know, but I'm
We're
just
way
looking at-
past
I
Leduc.
moved on.
I haven't because I'm like, why would
You
you
gotta
say
know where
6.5
Leduc
hours
is.
northwest of Edmonton?
Well, he clearly doesn't want us stopping by his place.
Something about Edmonton.
Scott Erlinson writes in, boys, writing in for the ever-popular Where You From segment. Apparently, Lethbridge, Alberta is a huge rubber boots town.
I think Scott one of our intern
Yes.
qualifiers.
Also writing in as a
See?
former intern
Yes.
candidate and a host of a morning radio show that's been running a secret sound contest for years. If you guys need any professional ears to help identify any sounds, I do take bribes.
Yes,
Cheers.
Scott was a very serious candidate for the
Yes.
internship.
Oh, I
I wonder
remember
whatever
that.
happened to our intern. Is he still out there?
He has his own podcast.
There's a
doesn't
guy
he?
sitting
He
underneath
was
He
his
does, but he
Jerry,
hasn't written me.
Jerry?
He hadn't written me in a
Jerry,
while.
Larry.
I saw a guy sitting underneath the
Jerry,
stairs. Is that
Larry.
him?
And
That's him. That's where the internship left him.
why don't we do next season? We'll spend the entire season
Catching up with interns?
with the former interns.
Yeah, perfect. I'm sure that will
They just
go
have
well.
to make contact because you guys don't remember any of
Really.
that.
No, we
You
don't.
could tell us you intern, and we'd be like, okay.
Perfect. That's what I'm going to do. It's the only way to get on the pod, apparently.
Staying on Lethbridge, by the way, Scott said Lethbridge, Alberta is a huge rubber boots town. Apparently it is because Neil Heaton writes in, where I'm from, Lethbridge. I started listening in season 1 and looking forward to ever exposure.
We should get-
always enjoy it. I don't know what that means.
Ever exposure? I like it. We should have the towns that claim they're rubber boots towns to compete against each other for what is the number one rubber boots town.
In a
And they'll
fight
do all
to the
sorts.
death.
No, they have to do all sorts of publicity stunts. You know, like where they paint rubber boots on the side of City Hall.
Oh yeah,
Well, stuff like that.
that won't be viewed as vandalism, I'm sure.
No.
Nothing
You can get
but
away with it.
Good publicity. Jordan Hasselback writes in, day one listener living here in Whitehorse, Yukon.
Wow.
So out there.
You know how the people
I'd
that
like to visit
you know
Yukon.
that really awful trend, and I hate even bringing it up, where reporters are doing live hits and guys yell that disgusting thing in the background. Get rid of that trend because it's horrible, and just
Are they still doing it?
interrupt reporters' live hits by saying "Rubber Boots Bot."
Yeah.
I like that.
Do they still do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I haven't seen it in a
happens.
while, but it was.
Remember the
awful.
guy? There
I
was
don't
a
even
guy
wanna-
outside a TFC game that did it live
Yes,
on
yeah.
CB24.
He got fired, I think.
Yeah, he got fired
From a
that.
very well-paying
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, well, justifiably
Yeah,
so.
justifiable.
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, quit being stupid.
Yeah, you think you're safe because you're anonymous, and all of a sudden you're not.
You're not.
Alrighty. This is by far my favorite podcast. Listen to this week's podcast while bottle feeding and changing dirty diapers for my 2 old weak twin daughters.
Oh,
The
beautiful.
week seemed even funnier than usual, but maybe that's also the sleep deprivation. Keep it up.
Probably is. Congratulations.
Probably,
yeah.
Who
Congrats.
was that?
Twins, eh?
That was Jordan Hasselbeck.
Jordan, congratulations to you and the mother of your children and your 2 glorious twins.
Can Jordan write in and ask if he's any relation to Matt or Tim Hasselbeck?
Ross Wheatley writes in, I live in Curtis, Ohio. I'm originally
Wow.
from the general area, but have lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Greenville, South Carolina for large portions of my adult life.
Forrest Gump.
A piece of Canadian interest. One of my best friends has a cabin on an island on Lake Kippawa, which is a little
Kippawa, maybe?
northeast.
Kippawa?
Kippawa, I guess, yeah. Sure.
But it's a fine tradition that we butcher names.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know why.
I only is it KIP?
Out of the 100 ones I butchered, you got that one's the one you leech
Well,
on to.
I'll tell you
Well, he
why.
finally knows how to correct you, so he was just happy to do it.
When I lived in my last place, I lived in Ottawa before I moved to BC was Kippawa Drive. I had a little condo, so I'm guessing that's what it was.
Okay, well, Kippawa is a little northeast of Temiskaming, Quebec.
Temiskaming, I think.
Temiskaming, Quebec, of course. How could I have missed that one? I've gotten to go a couple of times, and it's beautiful and remote there. I have listened for about 5 years, maybe. Not sure how I heard of it, but one listener gave me a good theory. It may have been Bobby Margarita. So, Bobby spreading the good word for
How's the
us.
Bobby Margaritas
What a
doing?
legend.
They do well?
Legend indeed.
Bobby
Sell well?
Margarita?
Are they selling well?
The margaritas, oh yeah, I think they did really well. They're back out this summer for sure. Grab yourself a Bobby Marg. Bobby was in the building last week. He was doing they did a draft lottery show on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're doing stuff on YouTube now as like shows. I guess that's the thing. As Jimmy say, they came to Jimmy said, Jimmy don't do no YouTube.
No. Nor does Jimmy do
Well, except for his
mock
podcast
drafts
is on YouTube.
4
Well, the
months
podcast
before
is
the
on
actual-
YouTube. I'm not going to do a show on YouTube. Although, YouTube's probably where most people watch stuff and not television anymore.
Where's Connor Bedard?
I like to be on the air television. He's going to Chicago, okay?
Great. That wasn't rigged.
Breaking news.
Not rigged.
It was not
You
rigged.
should write a song about how it was rigged.
I'm going to talk about that right now for a second because
Ooh. Katie Ann Fitzsimmons. Hold on, we'll read your comments.
Kevin Weeks
Yep.
got a hard time. If you don't know what, I got the hiccups now from my sparkling water.
Drink up, Jimmy. Take a gulp and between your
What if I
legs.
still have them a year from now? How what I do?
Okay.
I take the water first.
Big gulp.
And then
hold
go
it in your
upside
mouth.
down.
Put your head between your knees and swallow. Now bark like a dog.
Damn it, I missed it. Couldn't get
So that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, see, you're cured. No more hiccups.
Yep.
Cured, Jimmy.
So
Kevin Weeks.
they gave away the fact that Columbus had dropped to third before they were supposed to. Having done the draft lottery, I don't know, we did it 10 years in a row. And it's tricky and very particular.
And dumb.
And they do the draft before, so there was nothing rigged about it.
Yeah.
But
Whoa. You can't say that.
I know it's not rigged.
Were you in the room?
Okay, well,
Did you have, come on.
okay,
So
I
Chicago
suppose
unloads
it could be
everybody.
rigged.
Original 6.
Okay, if the
five
draft,
level
if the
five.
draft,
Just like Mario needed Sid, and who got Sid?
okay, so do you think the NHL wanted Edmonton to win it 3 years in a row?
Yeah, but they were garbage people.
Yeah, that's.
Like we're talking
Well,
about
yeah, but
generational guys. Go back on the generational.
Do you think so? They wanted Connor McDavid to go to Edmonton.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's what Gary Bettman thought would be the best idea to sell his league in the United States.
Gary Bettman's an idiot, so it doesn't matter.
Come on.
It's a classic franchise. Still.
I don't
It could be a
believe.
lot worse for
I
the
don't
league than
believe
the
in.
Oilers.
I don't believe in the fixes. Although, like Chicago would make sense somewhat as a fix, but they've
So
had.
if it was Montreal, would it have been a fix?
No, it's not a fix. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
If it was Montreal, it would have been a fix. The Leafs needed Austin Matthews. They got him.
Well, everybody, but there's a lot of teams that needed Connor Bedard, and some people would say Chicago, because of everything happened with the Chris Beach thing, was the least deserving, but it is a good market for him to go on. Anyway, What they did, I think the mistake that was made, and I felt bad for Weeksy, who's an awesome guy who comes on TSN, is somebody was he had to say lines. So the Bill Daly would say, okay, the 5th pick goes to whoever, Detroit. And then Weeksy would have a line that says, like, Detroit, this is the 3rd time in history that they've picked 5th overall or something like that. Just killing your time.
But he was hosting it?
He was hosting it.
Why?
And I don't know why. I don't know why.
He's not an.
And then somebody put the wrong thing in the prompter, put one line too early. So he's going to commercial break and he reads, Columbus, so we have our first change. Columbus has dropped to 3rd before they've done the top 3. So people are all over Weeksy. Obviously, you hoped he wouldn't have said it, but you're reading prompter or whatever, and here's my only thought on this thing is why did they do it on prompter? I never use prompter for this thing. Like, that is the worst thing you could possibly do because you're putting it in the hands of someone else.
Yep.
Who's doing it live?
Somebody's cutting and pasting script back there into a computer, and you're a slave to what they're saying. Like, we never did that. It was notes in front of you, and you reacted to what you saw. And I just can't believe they did it that way. That was
if it's
the
on the
massive
prompter,
mistake
that's on the person who put it on the prompter, though. To be fair,
it is. Well, it is okay, but although
I guess it all stems from the fact, obviously, they know the results before. It's not just unveiled by Daly because you're putting on a television show, so obviously it does have to be somewhat organized. The one thing I'll say though is, from all the people I've heard, it's fixed and all that stuff. This is the first time actually, because I didn't watch it live. This is the first time I'm hearing the Weeks thing. No one's referencing that at all. It's all based on the fact that Chicago got the pick.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that like they.
I heard a bunch of people say, "Oh, okay, so clearly
that's what that
clearly
means.
There's something fixed."
In the moment, I'm sure Twitter would have exploded with that, but the aftermath seems to be just more.
Who had the best chance? Anaheim, right?
Columbus had the best chance.
Columbus.
Yeah. I think it was Columbus, Anaheim, and then Chicago.
They saved them the Eric Lindros treatment for Columbus.
Yeah. But it's tough because he's not a host, right? He's an analyst, so maybe that's why.
Well, I know people are saying, "Oh, it's the whole Ron Burgundy thing." I'm Ron Burgundy, right? Because they put the question mark. I know it's easy to criticize that way. I think I hate prompter because sometimes your mind goes into neutral because you're not even thinking about what you're reading. And I'm sure like 2 seconds after he said it, he said, "Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to say that just yet." But in the moment, it can be a little bit challenging because you're thinking about 18 different things at once, right? It's maybe the producer's in his ear talking.
You don't have the experience for it too, either, right?
Yeah.
That's a big thing. So
cut
him a break. Cut the guy a break. That's what I'm saying. I'm not criticizing.
Weeks, he's a good guy. I'm the same. I'm the same as you. But don't put a show like that in the teleprompter. Just don't do that. Anyway, we never screwed it up when we were at TSN.
In the end,
never.
We all knew Columbus was dropping.
Yes, I think we did, but I don't think it's fixed.
Back to where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
Katie Ann Fitzsimmons, one of your shy listeners here. Where are you from? Mission, BC.
Oh.
Need more West Coast shout-outs?
Yes.
In the Where Are You From segment. Also from Mission, Carly Rae Jepsen and Brent Hayden, the Olympic swimmer.
Oh, nice. You know what? Call Me Maybe was written about Brent Hayden, the swimmer.
Yes. Yeah.
That's when she first met him at the local pool.
She said, "Call me maybe." Yeah.
Are you going to sing "Call Me Baby" in a Bruce Springsteen voice?
I thought this was a Canadian Heritage moment.
You thought that was a Bruce? It
was kind of.
"Call me baby, I just met you." How's it go again? I just met you.
But this is crazy.
But this is crazy. Here's my number. Call me maybe. Since you came into my life, I miss you so bad. I miss you so bad. Okay, that's enough.
I miss you so bad.
That was a great song.
Yeah. Big,
especially that cover.
Fun fact, if you're a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan, Andy Samberg's character, Jake Peralta, big fan of Carly Rae Jepsen.
Oh.
Yeah, in the show.
You go.
So the character's a fan.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, good show, although it starts getting old near the end.
More shout-outs.
There were a couple bad episodes, and the last season was hard. It was like the COVID season. There were a couple good episodes. It's a hilarious show, though.
We will shout out to the West Coast as many times as possible. It's my favorite place.
West Coast?
Favorite place in the world.
West side is the best side.
But get more orcas. All right? You want more West Coast shout-outs?
I saw 0 orcas.
Orcas.
Okay? 0.
Yeah, get them out of the water and swimming.
Yeah. Bump and I and Stoff are going to do a kayaking trip on the West Coast. And if we don't see one goddamn orca,
it's your ass.
I'll never come back. BC.
We'll finish off this.
See, that's where Angry Bump is legitimate. No
I
orcas.
am. No orcas. No sharks or orcas.
No
Saw some
orcas,
whales.
no
though.
show. All right. We'll finish off with this tweet from Sally Pianemi. Pianemi?
That's great pronunciation right
maybe
there.
he should tell us how to pronounce his name,
the
too.
whole tweet is about pronunciation.
Okay, how do you say his name?
Oh, I have to find
see
it.
it.
Pianemi? Niemi. It's got the ending's got to be Niemi.
Oh, I just
like
lost
a
it.
goalie.
Marco UC Pavloniemi.
I had it looked up a second ago. Hold on.
All right.
I'll find
Well,
it.
here's the pronunciation of the town you continue to butcher.
Tampere is pronounced Tampere. Cloquet is pronounced Cloquet. Cloquet is just south of Duluth, Minnesota. Hope this helps. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your podcast.
Tampere.
Piani-
Tampere. Didn't he say that? What did he say again?
Niemi.
Tampere is
Tampere.
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 Tampere. We have smart listeners. He knows how to pronounce Finnish towns and Minnesota towns.
Yeah. I'm
Minnesota.
0 for 2.
Minnesota.
But what if he's screwing with us? Like, remember in season 1 or season 2 that YouTube site?
One Wario.
One Wario.
For January.
T-Day is the 10th of One Wario.
That's such a brilliant concept, though, that someone decided to do
That
those.
was my favorite thing ever.
One Wario. And listener mail. Let's get to more of what our listeners have to say.
Listener mail. Listener mail. Thank you for listening.
So Jerry Player writes in to the
Jerry Player?
Jerry Player, yes.
Come on.
Is there a dirty Jerry Player?
It's got to be. If there's
I think Jerry Player's already dirty.
We don't. I don't think we.
Jerry Player.
There's a character that one sometime a guest on the pod does called Dirty Gary Player. Have we ever talked about it on the pod?
we have it.
Oh, okay. Bob
Everybody's
Weeks.
Bob Weeks.
Bob Weeks
It's
does
hilarious.
a version of Gary Player when he's really dirty in a South African accent.
It's amazing.
That's the greatest thing ever. So now all I can think of when I hear Dirty Jerry Player. Sorry.
Love it. Well, this Jerry Player writes in. He's praising Lester, who's absent this week, but he writes, "Gotta give Lester a shout out for this pod. One of his best performances.
Whoa.
I LOL'd at his comments 4 or 5 times, which is a record considering it's usually crickets. I LOL'd at his comments 4 or 5 times. He pulled a Draisaitl, dominating performance, but overall product still a loss." So a brilliant comment from
That's
Jerry
actually-
Player. I love
5
that.
times he laughed at
Four,
Lester.
4 goals, still loses.
Usually you can't even hear
Draisaitl.
Lester's like 4 or 5 of Lester's comments because I'm speaking over him.
You're just ignoring
Last
him.
pod, he
pushing
said
right through.
my 2 cents. Every time he talked.
My 2 cents.
I'm gonna give my 2 cents.
That should be a segment. Lester's
Yeah,
2
Lester's
cents.
2 cents. So you should do
Yeah,
that.
but then we won't. We'll just play the theme and then just move on.
And we have one other piece of mail from Jeff Krause writing, and that rendition of Louis Capaldi's song was great,
See ya.
Jimmy.
Yeah, it
I
was good.
immediately knew
But I
the
knew the song you
song.
were talking about.
And this just goes to show you that sarcasm does not come across
That's
the
right.
internet well.
That's funny because it's true.
Do you guys want to do like,
Since you came into my life, I missed you so bad. I'm doing Louis Capaldi now, not Bruce Springsteen.
You know she threw
I
up
miss
the-
you
we can tell by the voice.
bad.
you got the tone right down?
Didn't she? Did she like have one of the worst throws in Carly Rae?
Oh
Jepsen?
yes, in
Right?
in opening pitch.
Yeah,
like
ceremonial
Tampa.
opening
50
pitch
Cent
ever.
was still better.
50 Cent was-
worse, I think.
Oh,
50 was
man,
still
50
worse.
Cent was
Is
bad.
the
was
50
bad.
Cent pitch one of the most shocking things ever? Because he just looks
It looked like
an
he's never
athlete.
thrown a ball before.
No.
It just, yeah.
You'd think, he's tough guy, that he's
hit the
played
guy
some
in the
sports. No, just brutal. Anyway,
Yeah, it was awful.
Went to James's.
Do you want to do a what you
Chiropractor.
watching, or you guys watching anything interesting? What you watching? Or
well, I mean, bump. It's going to be Grey's Anatomy and
he
freaking
watches a
Brooklyn
lot of
Nine-Nine.
TV, so that's
Yeah,
pretty
let's
good.
do it.
What you watching? Just between you and me. What you streaming on your TV? Let me see. What you watching? Action, drama, comedy. What you streaming on your TV?
I basically needed some time filler this week because I was like doing work around the house, so I wanted something on in the background that I could pay half attention to. So I watched the how do you pronounce the Murdaugh murders? What's that guy who killed his wife and kid?
Oh yeah, that's on Netflix. Right?
Murdaugh Murders?
Murdaugh Murders.
Is it? Yeah. I know that's the
not-
name. I have no idea
Not
what the show
Murdoch
is, though.
Mystery, the Canadian CBC
Oh,
show.
I think that's what I was thinking of. Okay.
This is the guy who he killed his wife and his son. He shot them, and tried to make it look like it was a break-in. And he was like,
oh, this is like on a massive property or something?
Yes.
I've seen the preview for
but
this.
the show is quite interesting because it goes back and suddenly there's a few other deaths in the past that get associated with them. And the first episode is
they're
actually
rich people, right? Like it's
your
a wealthy family.
It's your typical Southern small town, wealthy, above the law family, like the lawyers in the town. Like his son, the first episode is all about his son and their friends getting in this boating accident. And the son is just completely hammered. And he's just an idiot. And a girl dies in the boating accident.
Right.
And the dad comes in and tries to act like somebody else was driving and tries to cover it all up.
Of course.
And then later on, that's the son he ends up murdering, by the way.
After bailing him out.
But I think he actually, this is how evil this man is. He has been convicted, I believe now. I think he killed his son because if you kill your wife, everybody thinks it's the husband because that's what every Dateline episode ever. And I believe in my mind he killed his son.
To get at his wife?
No, because it would look less suspicious. And his son was a bit of an F up anyway. But you don't kill, anyway, horrid.
But sorry, why does he kill him?
Being. Well, I don't, he killed him for maybe insurance money or something. I don't know why. He was things were falling apart financially.
That kind of reminds me of that, you guys remember, was it Tim Bosma, the guy who got kidnapped by whatever?
Yes.
And that guy who kidnapped him and killed him, he was in prison, and after they went back and saw that his father died of a suspicious suicide.
Right. He killed a few people.
And then he had a girlfriend who just disappeared out of nowhere, and then he ended up getting charged with both their murders.
That guy was a sicko.
Yeah. And literally just had everything. And
That murder bothered me a lot because it was just like a test drive.
It was a thrill kill.
It was a test drive for a truck or something.
Yeah. That's what the guy went there for.
That gives me the EBGB still. Anyway.
Terrible.
Wow.
Terrible.
That was a real
pick-me-up.
real upbeat moment. Let's do some more
what's on
Carly
Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Some more so Carly J.
Brooklyn
Carly
Nine-Nine.
Rae
It's a
Jepsen.
great show. I still watch it.
Succession, great episode this week again.
I didn't see it.
Okay,
yet.
I won't say anything about
I
it.
won't say anything, but Succession, I love it.
They
got so many great characters on that show.
Amazing.
Like, I love Kendall Roy. But like when Tom and Greg are interacting, it's hilarious. It's the funniest of the show.
You'll love this
they're
episode because
amazing.
there's a lot of Tom in this episode.
Good. I like Tom.
Tommy Wangwingy.
Brooksy brought this up to me the other night, and I'm sure everybody talks about it, but I'm not out there on the chat sites and stuff with shows. If you watch Succession, nobody actually speaks sentences. It's all, and I don't know I want to know if the writers write it this way or if it's the actors just improvising, because if particularly Kendall, but all of them, it's, hey, Tommy, winging it. I don't. It's all these like broken sentences, hesitation, words 5 times in a row. And do you think it's written that way? Because how would that appear on a script?
It's got to be some sort of improv, but
because
they probably tell you that we want you to act this way. You got to get from A to B. A lot of shows do that.
Because you notice it. I'll watch Succession's one of those shows I watch with closed captioning because sometimes you miss. It's so rat-a-tat-tat the dialogue.
Yeah.
And if they're talking business stuff, sometimes I get a little bit confused. And so, but you'll see it in the closed captioning. You know what I mean? It's so bizarre. I don't think there's ever been a show like that where they speak that way.
It's like just the written, because you know that's how people talk when they're in negotiations with all the different analogies and everything, and it's just brilliant.
I know,
it's brilliant.
I'll be sad when that's over this year, right?
Yeah, this is the
how many
last
like 3-4 more epis and that's it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
How do you think Succession ends?
Man, that's great. See, I would have thought that it would have ended with. Well, I guess I can't really say. I shouldn't really say.
Well, spoilers.
Spoiler
alert.
Spoiler alert.
With him dying. With
Logan
you thought
Roy
that
dying. You thought that
would have been near the end, but that the fact that it happened 3 episodes in was pretty crazy.
When you put that
twist.
spoiler alert, you better put like big spoiler alert flash forward to 15 seconds.
I mean, if you haven't started watching Succession, like I haven't, I don't feel like I've been.
Yeah,
it's an awesome. It's
but
awesome
do you think
show.
one of the 4 kids, I guess, gets the company, or that it falls apart or something like that?
I think it's going to fall apart.
Right.
Because they're kind of going in different directions already.
I kind of thought the idiot from Ferris Bueller, who's like the fourth son, the third son.
Yep.
It would be interesting if somehow Connor ended up with it or something like that. Like that
he
would
hated him.
Yeah,
he was like an offshoot son.
I know that would be to me that would be a good.
It's Succession's a brilliant show.
Yeah, one of the best, honestly, in the last decade or so. I think.
I love it. Ted Lasso too.
Ted Lasso, good show.
I got nothing else fresh.
I've been watching Yellow Jackets. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
I've heard of that.
I watched.
Is it good?
It's really. We flew through it. We're almost caught up to the live second season now. So.
Okay, so season 1, I got through like about 6-7 episodes, and it wasn't. I was liking it, but I was not like, oh, I can't wait for the next episode. It was getting a little. It was just a little weird. Yeah, and Brooksy finished season 1. I didn't even finish season 1. I'll go back and watch it.
I think the script's really good. The storylines are kind of key. It's very like they've thought of a lot of things. The one thing I'll say, it's pretty gruesome at some parts too. Mm-hmm. That might not be for everybody, but it's like I saw another show last year that was also about someone surviving a plane crash, but it was a single woman, and that one was a little more fairy tale-ish, how she just kind of managed to save herself. This is, I think, I know
realistic. I know that show. I never watched the end of that one either.
Yeah, it's the one where she like remains hot all the way through, despite being lost in the woods for months.
The plane's in the middle of the lake or whatever. There.
Yeah,
she has to go back a couple times out to the plane.
Yeah, and they actually tease something in there that the plane belonged to drug dealers, which I thought was actually going to be a great part of the show, and they completely never addressed it again. So,
was that a Canadian show? Because it was shot. It looked like it was shot in Canada in the Rockies. It was shot.
But I prefer Yellow Jackets over that one for sure.
Okay, so here's the deal. I think what turned me off Yellow Jackets is we got to like episode 6 or 7, and then I found out there was going to be another season. And I was frustrated because I just wanted the thing to wrap up and find out what the whole deal was.
You know that because they tell you how long they're trapped there, and by the end of season 1, they're only there for 7 months. So you know there's a lot more coming. I'll tell you what I have an issue with when we started season 2, and this is kind of a big issue. So the show is about a plane crash. I'm not spoiling anything.
It's a soccer team.
It's a girls soccer team, a high school soccer team.
University or high school?
High school, and they're flying to nationals.
Right.
And basically, none of this is a spoiler because you find out in the first episode. You even find out how long they're going to be there for because it goes back and forth between present time and back then when they crashed.
And present time, it's like 10 years older, maybe they are?
More, almost 20 something years older.
Oh, okay.
It's like present time 2020 now, and the crash happened in 1996, I want to say.
I'm going to have to go back and
honestly, the premise is great. The execution is really, really good. One like cardinal sin that shows commit that happens in this one is at the beginning of season 2. They're there for 7 months already. Okay, so you get to know this group of girls, and out of nowhere they introduce 3 new characters, like in the group of girls
who were in the crash.
Yeah, like as if they were constantly always in the background and you never noticed them. I guess it's just to have more further storylines because like people die off or whatever. But that's the one thing that really rubbed me the wrong way. However, the season so far, it's still going pretty well. Like,
okay, can I ask you one more question?
Yes.
I believe the other thing that kind of turned me off was there was some supernatural thing going on in season 1. Is there a supernatural element to this show?
No. So here's the thing. Now, a small spoiler alert.
The thing in the attic?
What? Yeah, no, that's real. They
cabin?
find a dead body up there.
I know, but then there's some spirit or something that.
Well, there's symbols all over the place. It looks like basically there was a cult there at some point.
Okay.
And now, look, these girls are there for a long time. They're starving. They're whatever. I think it's also a natural thing where people start believing in, they start believing one girl has visions that's helping them.
Okay, so
and they're also very divided on this. Half the camp doesn't believe it. Half are fully going on, and that's one of the big storylines. But it's not like supernatural stuff is happening. Some of them believe it is. As the show, we really don't know.
It's not going to be like Lost.
I really hope not, but I don't think that's what it is.
Monster bull.
Because in the second season, also they catch up with one of those people later on, and it doesn't seem that way necessarily.
All right, I'll jump back. I'll jump back in this summer.
One show that's been on for a while that's wrapping up.
MASH?
Is The Blacklist. Have you ever watched The Blacklist?
James
Spader.
Spader. Yeah.
No.
So he's like he's basically the number one fugitive in the world for the FBI, and he works for the FBI.
Okay.
And what they do is they're taking criminals off the blacklist. He's giving up criminals. It's like part of his arrangement.
Okay.
His character is brilliant. Raymond Reddington. He's amazing. It's been a great show.
Of television, eh?
It's been 10 years. Like it's been on 10 seasons, I think. It's a brilliant show. So and it's now on Netflix. So you can watch. So if you need something to binge, you can do it at the Blacklist.
Okay,
it's a good one. Just wrapping up.
A lot of shows. There's Bump looping the segment.
Are we done this program now?
We're almost done. It's time for your favorite part, Jimmy.
Oh, the GBL.
The Gold Bar League.
I love gold, and so do you. Join the Gold Bar League, and you can have some too. It's the Gold Bar League. Come on and join the Gold Bar League.
I'm making a huge run, am I not?
I can't make it.
I'm making a run to mediocrity.
Yes.
From embarrassment to mediocrity.
That is a good way of putting it.
That's going to be the name of my next book. From embarrassment to mediocrity, the story of the turtle.
Bestseller. We got our week 7 results here. Week 8 is the last week of the regular season, which will be followed by our last chance tournament.
I'm going to rest all my starters.
You're going to rest all your starters? Well, careful. AK might catch up.
I asked AK while I was beating him at golf why he is so bad when he is a professional gambler, essentially.
Yes. Did he blame all the soccer?
No, he just said he does. Both AK and Carlo and me, we do the answers in like 15 seconds. Like we don't
but to be fair, Carlo is destroying you guys. Like it's not even close.
Maybe he's just better at it then.
I think so.
AK's fame.
I also see. I don't go for this whole thing. I have buddies like this who like when they gamble and they pretend everything is wrong until they finally get that one, and that's the one they knew.
Yep.
And meanwhile, it's like, oh no, that one, I went 0 for. I didn't try.
So let's just discredit AK as having any gambling knowledge.
Yes,
that's more fun.
That's harsh. Week 7 results from the prophylactic conference. My ass picks ? Who is Dave Gose, finished first, tied with Nittany, like the Nittany Lions, I believe.
Yes.
Both got 15 points, so 7 bars each. The Untucked Penguin behind them gets 5 bars. Comet Storm 3 bars, and then Flamino. Quinn Marr needs to interview Stoff. Marcus McCarthy, Jimmy's dressing room surprise. Toad licks Matt. Puffy's Rick's picks. Cam Jam Bam. And LMV are all tied, and they all get 2 bars each.
Those are some damn
Those
fine
are
names.
awesome names. Jimmy's dressing room surprise and Toad licks Matt, I think. Puffy's is pretty good too. It's not Puffy's first time in the top 10 too, so very impressive. In the talent division, Puffy won the week. Gets 7 bars. Actually, sorry, he tied with Bob Weeks, so they both get 7 each. James, you get 3 bars. I follow up with 2 and AK 2 as well, as we both tied. First up division, Carlo wins the week, 7 bars. Cause with 5. Bump and Lester get 3 bars each as they tied. So now the updated overall standings.
How you doing, Bump?
I'm way down.
You're still alive there, buddy. Updated standings. In first, we have a tie between Smith 32 and Shower Thoughts with 21 bars. Then in third, Take Luster and Stoff Golfing. Some guy from Coburn, 14 bars. Huller Time, Chief Keef, Marcus McCarthy, Andrew Arsenal, 13 bars. In ninth, Han Solo alone with 12 bars. Then in 10th, Joey Dearborn, Trojan Baz with 11 bars. And these are the guys now who are fighting to get into the Platinum League. So in 12th, we got Dougie, Benny 89, and these are my ass picks.
Red Eye Dougie?
I think it might be. 10 bars, Jadem 13, Snack Bite Speed, Chewy Louie 9 bars, Jimmy's Squirrels, Jimmy's Missing Jacket 8 bars, and 8 people tied at 7 bars, and there's plenty more people with 6 and 5. Right now, the cutoff looks like it's going to be around 10 or 11 bars, so make sure you participate this week. Make sure you participate next week in the Last Chance Tournament.
Big week.
And we'll see who's in the Platinum League. Now, in the talent division, Bob Weeks, 57 gold bars in first.
Guy's a machine.
I'm in second with 49. I've been struggling lately. Me and Weeksy were toe-to-toe. Now it's not so much. Coming out of nowhere, jumping up 2 spots this week.
Jimmy.
James Duthie, 39 gold bars.
What a man.
Puffy right behind him with 37. And then AK with 29. So that's a rough goal. So if the season ended today, me and Bob go to the Platinum League. You would face off against Puffy, and the winner of that would face off against the winner.
So if I lost to Puffy, then I would be Puffy's.
Yes, you would then claim that title for sure.
He'd finally get out from the other way around.
First up division, Carlos 65, Cause 52, Bump 42.
Can't make any
Leicester
up, can't make
25.
any up
Tough
on
to
them.
make up ground. It's tough to make up ground.
Looks like you're heading for a playoff with Cause, so that
right.
will be entertaining. Like I said, 1 week left in the regular season, followed by our last chance tournament. Now,
Stoff,
the
I
real
have
question-
to say,
Yes.
you've done an exemplary effort on these things. Like
Yes.
the questions you put together are worthy of
it's
Webster's.
more than just our little podcast.
Yeah.
It should the Gold Bar next year. The Gold Bar League. Come on, let's get some major sponsor to come in and offer a $1 million first prize.
That's what I'm
Yes.
because the effort he puts into those
I know.
questions are worth it.
And the
I love
effort
that.
I would put into rigging that $1 million prize would
Exactly.
be extraordinary. Question for you, James. Have you yet found in your house anything you are willing to part with for the winner
the
of the
prize.
Platinum League? Yes.
One of the dogs?
The talent division, the talent
The
division,
sicker dog.
the talent division, or the Platinum League.
For the Platinum League, the overall winner of the Platinum League. Maybe Bob Weeks will defend this title, and this year he wants to keep the prize.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you can't give Bob Weeks a driver or something.
No,
like
you
that.
already turned it down last year. That's why Jadam's
I'll
riding
talk
around
to my
with
guy
one.
Nick from TaylorMade. TaylorMade's the best. We'll come
like
up with
that.
something. Maybe a personal pool party. I come over. How about
one-on-one in the hot
How
tub?
about a free Cairo appointment with my guy Regan?
Oh,
I
that is,
think that may be too much. Like that's too good of a prize.
does it cover the liability for the chiropractor?
Happy endings not included.
What? I thought that was the
the
whole
whole
point
point?
with your chiropractor.
What's the point of
Then you
doing
might
that?
as well-
Don't make fun of my doctor. He's a very legitimate doctor. He would not appreciate this. He's saved me. He's kept me alive for the last. Well, not alive. That would be a stretch.
Yeah. That would be
Chiropractor's
kept me
keeping you
walking.
alive.
that's a problem.
He does the best adjustments you've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what you've been saying.
okay.
You're not helping yourself. You just keep teeing us up.
I know. I'm sorry.
2 hour pod, everyone. 2 hour pod.
Okay, so good luck. Get your entries in. Stoff will send out something on Saturday, usually, I believe.
Saturday, always around
Saturday
noon.
afternoon. So
Stay peeled to your phones.
be ready for that. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Also,
Happy Mother's Day.
be sure to check because apparently I've had quite a few people reach out saying that due to Elon's new Twitter, they're not getting stuff's not coming up in their feed.
Yeah.
So people are missing out the deadline, which
Oh, sorry
I'd
about
like
that.
to be able to.
So yeah, make sure to get the rubber boots in there.
Yeah, just give
off.
us a check around noon.
You know what? Probably it's not up on your feed. It's this Elon's Twitter changes it to the For You page instead of your
that's-
follow page all the time.
Well, that's
Like, that
exactly
happens
what
to
it
me
is.
all
So
the
if you
time.
go to your follow page,
Yeah.
it'll be there. But
I
everything's
fall
in
into
the
that
feed.
trap all the time. I'm scrolling
And
through going,
the
what
best
is
part
this
is
crap?
the For You is now all people who pay for check marks. So
Yeah, it's garbage.
Twitter's basically become something where it used to be where you could get everybody's, you could choose who to follow,
Mm-hmm.
get a variety of different things. And now it's anyone who's basically willing to pay to advertise their view to you. That's what you're getting. So
When I leave this fine company, hopefully it's not for a while because I enjoy my job.
you're going to buy Twitter.
The first thing I will leave is Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Did you saw I was coming to Twitter?
Yes, I saw it. And I'll make one comment on it before I leave because it popped up on my For You, of course. I finally blocked him. But his first words were, this is Tucker Carlson, by the way, who, if you've listened to this pod, you know, he's, to me, I just can't stand the guy. He says, he does this diatribe about journalism and how you're not getting the truth. You're getting another version of the truth. I'm like, you might be right, but you are the number one perpetrator of exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
Like, there's no one that does what you're saying more than you.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that
And also the other irony in that is I'm pretty sure he's one of the guys who used to condemn Twitter back when it was viewed as something that was against his views. So
yeah, you know what? It's just I wish somebody came up with a really good alternate. I know there's some other sites out there, but
well, the problem now is like
we're so
They're all
yeah.
dumpster
there's
fires.
all different ones. So people, if anything, it will spread people out.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
unlikely you'll have this one thing again where you had everybody just kind of
Anyway,
went to
It's a
get their
tire
info and
fire.
stuff. Oh, well.
I can't stand
I
it.
almost hate that we have a segment named after it.
We should change it. Lester can change the
Let's
song.
change it. Let's change it to Reddit or whatever, and then
Do
you can
like
just
a,
do your
just
Reddit
do like a
things.
Krusty the Clown edit on it. Things that we saw
On
on
internet. Internet.
my friend Mr. Black.
Mr. Black.
Bump, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We
and,
could finally make it.
Always an honor to have Bump on the show. Hopefully, Puffy and Lester will be back soon. We'll see Bump again in about 2027.
Yep.
And,
Season 16,
I think I
everyone.
was saying Happy Mother's Day to all our moms out there. We love you, moms. And thanks for everybody for listening.
We
We'll
love
see you next
your
week in the
mom.
Rubber Podcast. I just met you.
Hey, how are you? I got a question that I really want to ask you. Wait, don't hang up. I need to know, so I'm gonna try and push my luck. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? I know it's a little strange, my obsession with your choice of footwear in the rain. I know that you're on TV, but I need you to put your boots up on the desk for me. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like the dunk tank at the fair? This is the part they call the bridge. A bridge has water under it. With rubber boots you can wade in the water. Just don't fall in. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? Are they purple, yellow, green, blue, black, or white? Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? And do you like a dunk tank at the fair? Do you like the dunk tank at the fair? The dunk tank at the fair. Are you wearing your rubber boots tonight? No, seriously. Are you wearing your rubber boots? Don't hang up. Please. Somebody. Hey? Anyone?